Hey guys, it's been difficult today to get this video done. A lot of issues, technical issues. My phone's been doing some wonky stuff, so this is actually being done on my laptop webcam right now, so the quality is going to be kind of lower than I wanted, but that's okay. We'll get it all figured out. I've had a lot of interruptions today. I got some family over. Ohio State was on, all that stuff, and it's just, noise, which is pretty normal around here. But yeah, I think I'll get a chance here. So, my story. Where I was goes back a long way. I mean, you can go back to school age, but mainly high school is when, things kind of began for me to go south, I guess you could say. I mean, I was always the big kid in school. Gym class I hated it because I just didn't do anything right. Couldn't climb that rope. Hated running the mile. Always the last kid picked for team sports and all that stuff. And kind of a nerd. Well, no, I was a nerd. I'm still a nerd. Anybody that knows me will attest to that. I had a small circle of friends I kept with and was not popular. But that's okay. I look back on that and that's all popularity. Who cares? And I didn't care at the time. So that's what it was. But, I was a big kid in class and it carried on for a long time. Probably my mom passing away in 2000, year 2000, changed things for me a little bit. We were pretty close. She died of cancer, and so that put me on a little bit of a downward spiral, and I made a lot of poor choices, and got into a depression I probably didn't even realize I was in for quite some time. And everybody deals with depression in some form, I'm sure. There's not a human being alive that hasn't had it in some way, some form at some point in their life, but some just have it worse than others. And fast forward to 2015-ish, or give or take, I had been in a spot where I've gained a lot of weight, mainly because it was not just overeating at that point, it was alcohol. So I had some things going on in my life at the time that were eating away at my soul. And I self-medicated with alcohol, booze, whatever you want to call it. It would be nothing for me to go out and get a 12-pack and maybe a 2 or 3 tall boys on top of it. And that was every day. So, and I smoked too, stupid thing I started in my early 20s. I don't even know why I did. In a bar, drunk, and took somebody's cigarettes and smoked one and never looked back. Plus, I worked at a construction company for a while, and I think we took more smoke breaks than we did actual work. So there was that, and I just was doing everything I shouldn't be doing, and didn't really care. Didn't see where I was headed, and I was getting pretty heavy. I was in the 400s. I had a doctor at the time that was trying to help me. Diagnosed me super morbid, obese, pre-diabetic, hypertension, high cholesterol, all that. Triglycerides were 7,500, which I think anything over 200 or 250 is considered abnormal. He was trying to help me, and I got a letter in the mail from his office firing me, more or less, as a patient. He was done. So it's bad when doctor gives up on you. So I kind of blew that off and thought to myself, okay, what should I do? I had reached a point to where I could no longer walk up the steps in the house to go to my bedroom. I had to sleep in my recliner. My legs were swollen all the time, especially my left one for some reason. Probably, it was not a heart issue because down the road my heart tested very strong. Um, um, yeah, a lot of edema. My legs would ooze. Just you touch the wrong spot at the wrong time. I couldn't really. I was getting to a point where I couldn't wear certain shoes, unless they were practically untied. Showering. I would shower maybe every 5 days or so. I couldn't stand in there long enough to do it. And yeah, why didn't I use a shower chair? Well, I don't know. Was it too humiliating? But then who would know, right? Because I'm the only one in there. But I just didn't. And I think it really got bad when I found out I could no longer wipe my own butt. And I even got one of those sticks that help you do it, and I ended up breaking that. So I was a pathetic piece of work, and things were just a mess. And it was time to change. Somewhere inside my head, a switch flipped, and I had a new doctor. He put me in a program. I met a surgeon, and my insurance that I was on at the time gave the go-ahead to start the process for weight loss surgery. It's quite a long process. It was for me anyways. Several months of specialists, cardiologists, neurologists, psychologists, several meetings with a dietitian and a nutritionist that helped me lose the weight the insurance required me to do before full approval. So at the start of the program, I was probably about 550 pounds. That's about as bad as I got. And by the time the day of surgery came, I was 480. So I had lost actually more than they had required me to. So that was good. Surgery day came. Didn't quite go as planned. I had open Roux-en-Y gastric bypass, which is usually done with a laparoscopically, but I had an open incision because he thought it was going to be too much to go through with the scopes, so he actually just cut me open. And essentially, by the time I was done, I had 2 stomachs. Well, I still do. My new little pouch, my little egg, and my old stomach's still there, but it no longer sees food. Never will again. It just aids in the digestive process. So now I'm through the surgery, in recovery, got to my room, up and walking every couple hours. Never slept the 2 days I was in the hospital. By the time I got home, that's when I realized how much pain I was going to be in when I tried to go to bed. For the first time, getting in that bed was probably one of the most difficult things I've ever done in my life. I about ripped my drain out. If you've never had any kind of surgery and you don't know what the drain is, if you have an incision site, there's a tube that's actually going into that, stuck in your body, where the fluid will drain out, the excess fluid. It looks like cloudy blood, more or less, and you have to empty that, keep it clean, don't let air get into it. It lessens over time, but I almost ripped that out getting into bed, and that would have really been great. So yeah, that was painful, but things got real for me once the fog of surgery wore off and all the drugs were out of my head and all that. I realized I couldn't eat what I wanted to anymore. My brain was still wanting to eat, and I knew I couldn't, because the surgery is the tool to lose the weight. It's not the fix. It's not going to do it all. What you got to do is retrain your brain, because your brain still wants the crap. All I could do was think about wanting to go eat something, knowing I couldn't, and therefore it made me very emotional, to the point to where the first 2 or 3 weeks all I did was cry. I cried all the time. I'd look at a glass of water and I'd cry. Anything. I cried. So I got with my doctor. He put me on Wellbutrin. It evened me out for 2 or 3 months. I was on that. So I got through that. It was really tough. And things got easier. The transition to solid food after about 3 to 4 weeks post-op was a strange transition for me. The first time I ate solid food, it was just weird. You'd think you'd ate all your life, no big deal, but it's like starting over as a newborn. It's totally different. Everything's going to change, and I'm sure that's that way for everybody. So, I started losing weight pretty rapidly. If you stick to the program, that's going to happen. Follow the eating schedule. The problem with that is you got to get in a lot of protein in the beginning. My doctor wanted me to have 100 to 120 grams a day. And when you can't eat very much, it's very difficult. So you've got to rely on protein shakes. And my experience with those prior to that was they're all gross. They're gritty. They're just gross. And I found one I liked. I'm going to share later on, probably next week, which one that was, because you're going to have it. You got to get the protein in because you're going to lose muscle no matter what. So I lost a lot of muscle. I got a lot of this hanging, but I did lose a lot of muscle. I've been trying to get it back, doing what I got to do, but I lost quite a bit. And hair loss, they said, the thing. Now, obviously, I never noticed that. So let me know. I've actually not known anyone personally who's experienced the hair loss, but I know that it is a side effect. So do the program. If you can get through the first month, it starts to get much easier. So that's basically me up to that point. I don't want to drag this on too long. They say after 10 minutes, people start watching something else. So, I'm going to start slow. That way I can just keep doing things. Maybe you look forward to the next one, I'm hoping. So I want to reach everybody at some point. This is starting small, and it's growing. I started that Facebook page for communication purposes mainly, also to spread it around Facebook. But if it does spread the way I want it to, or people I don't even know are watching this, then that's a way for them to communicate with me. I don't mean that everybody that knows me now and has my personal phone number has to use the Facebook if you want to talk to me. That's not what I'm saying. You contact me however you want. But I'm hoping that, I've been getting some messages, some comments from people. I got one yesterday from a guy I went to school with, college. And he said that my posts annoy him. In a good way, though. In a way that I think what he meant was that it motivates him because he's trying to lose weight on his own. And from what I see, he's doing a pretty good job. And I know his pain. But, I hope I annoy you and whoever. I'm going to annoy you. Those of you that know me, I can be pretty annoying. So that I'll just continue the process. So I want to motivate, long-term success. 3 years I'm there. I'm 3 years November 6th. And less than 5% have long-term success. So I've done something right. And I'm going to share with all of you that want to know what I did, how I do it. And so it's my opinions, my experiences. Doesn't mean it's the only way. Doesn't mean I'm the only one that's right. I'm not the only one doing this, I'm sure. But it's just I want to share with you how I did it. And you can't do the public speaking stuff anymore, and all that's, closed up. So we're going to do it this way. But this whole video thing's new to me. So I got to figure out different ways of doing it. If you got ideas for me, comments, directions I can go, critiques, ideas for the production process, let me know. If there's topics you want me to talk about, I've already got a few from people, but if there's anything, let me know. I'm going to jot them down. I've got a list of stuff already, and I'm going to go over it. From my point of view, I would like to talk to someone who's had longer term success to me. If you know anyone who's, maybe 10 years, 5 years, 10 years, 8 years post-op and has still maintained a great amount of weight loss, let me know. Let me know how to get a hold of them. Send them my way. I would like to talk to them. It's been a long road. 550 pounds down to hovering just below 220. So over 300 pounds gone. I got rid of an NFL linebacker that I walked around with for a long time, and I feel good. So, there's so much more I want to do, but we're going to leave it at this for now. Hopefully I don't have any more technical difficulties. So next week I'm going to go into, more about right after surgery up to where I'm at now and how I kind of feel I got here. And I'm going to show you the protein drink I used, and I've had some questions about protein from some people. So I'm going to go into all that. So that's it for now. I'm going to sign off. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Thanks for watching. Like my Facebook page, subscribe to my YouTube page, share it please, comment, let me know what's going on. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. Take care.